Are you all tucked up in bed? Good morning. Oh, good morning. Did you have a good nap? Yeah, you did. Good morning. You ready for another feed? Yeah. Oh. One thing that really makes me feel better postpartum is actually getting dressed for the day. So I've picked out this outfit. My mum actually knitted a jumper that coincidentally almost matches this one for Charlie. So I'm gonna wear this and I'm gonna put him in his matching one. I think it'll be so cute. Okay, little outfit of the day featuring the security tag on my jeans. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I'm not leaving the house, so we should be fine. Jeans, Target, Lily loves mid-rise wide leg jeans. Stunning, need to buy it in like every other color because I'm obsessed. They're so comfortable and I feel like they fit nicely. Like, I really like. And jumper is Old Princess Polly, but I think they still stock this on the website. Gorge. And my son matches me. Anyway, good official morning, you guys. I don't think I've said hello yet today. I'm gonna do a Q&A as I go about my days. I have a pretty work heavy day today, so maybe across today and tomorrow. But I'm almost 3 months postpartum. I thought now was a good time to debrief. You guys have a lot of questions about postpartum, my motherhood journey so far, and I have answers. I have things that I want to talk about. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things. It's gonna be very like, yeah, raw and real and honest. All the things that your mum friends probably don't want to tell you. Also just like general questions. I feel like a lot of you are entering that next stage and it's scary. I remember being pregnant and being like, oh my God, what does this actually look like? How is this? What pram do I buy? How do I pump? What's breastfeeding like? What's postpartum recovery like? I have the answers. Baby boy is down for his second nap of the day, which brings me to my first question. I have a lot of questions about his sleep and like how we're going with our day naps. Someone asked, how do you do day naps whilst also getting long stretches at night? Swaddle, dark room, etc. Yeah, we basically swaddle, dark room, sound machine now. We went for the first like 8 weeks. We were doing our day naps light, bright, just so he could establish his days from nights. Once his circadian rhythm kind of kicked in and he was pulling longer stretches at night, we were a lot more intentional with our day naps. We're still not perfect. Afternoon, I don't even try. It's pretty much exclusively contact naps, but morning, I'll put him down in his bassinet like he is right now. And normally his morning naps, he'll stay down. He's still young, like he's 11 weeks old. I think once he gets a little bit older over the next month or so, we'll probably be a little bit more intentional with our nap routine. But like right now, routine, I don't know. My biggest fear, because he slept so well at night, I thought if we made his day naps really good and he slept really well during the day, that would affect his night sleep. And that has not been the case. If anything, I feel like he sleeps better. He's easier to put down at night if he sleeps well during the day because he's not overtired, he's not getting cranky and worked up and his cortisol levels are rising. A lot of questions about the pram we went with and if I recommend it. Pram has been a hot topic in this household because we recently switched from the bassinet attachment to just like the regular pram seat. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've talked about this in one of my recent vlogs and a few of you guys commented and messaged me being like, no, switch. Basically, like a few weeks ago, Charlie decided that he had gone from loving being in the pram to absolutely hating it and being inconsolable. I would say like 95% of the time. Normally our morning walks, everything's better in the mornings. He's just happy in the mornings. Our morning walks were usually marked safe, but after that, absolutely not leaving the house in the pram was I. I began to feel so trapped because I couldn't leave the house. Like I need to take him out in something. I have my carrier, which we love, but there's only so long he can be in there for before my back starts hurting, my core strength, the non-existent post C-section. So I was feeling really trapped. Making that switch has absolutely changed the game and he's just so much happier in it. We had the most lovely family weekend, just the weekend past. It was just so lovely. We were bopping around, going for walks, going out for brunch, we went shopping. It was just a happy little clam, having the time of his life. He's napped in there. Oh, I feel like I've got my life back. Feels pretty good. But the pram we went with is the Baby B Juno in the taupe color. Bought it myself. They actually did reach out to me after I'd already bought it, being like, hey, are you interested? And I was like, Thank you so much, but I've actually already bought it, haven't I? I genuinely love it. And we were tossing up between that and the Upper Baby Vista. They're very similar. Ultimately just decided to go with the Juno. It's a lot more lightweight. It's really easy to fold. You can do it with one hand. I just really like the configurations that you can have with like the double stroller if we have future kids. Love our Baby Juno. And while we're at it talking about baby gear, I had a few questions about what wearable pump I've been using and if I have a discount code. Yes, I do. This is the Lecevo. Sorry, I need to wash it. The Lecevo. I think it's the S70 or S90. Again, bought with my own money, but I do have a discount code. It's, I want to say SMILEY10. I'll pop it up on the screen and I'll have it linked down below in case you're interested. The fact that it's wearable and I can just pop it in my bra and go about my day is really handy. I'll usually pop it in while I'm having breakfast or doing my makeup, getting ready for the day. It's super handy to have my hands free. I feel like I get good output out of it. My milk is definitely, what's the word? Stabilized? Is that the word I'm looking for? My milk supply is evened out and I feel like I'm pretty much only just producing what he needs. I'm still pumping like once a day, just in the morning, just to build up a little bit of a freezer stash. And yeah, I really like these ones. They're comfy and I get good output. So while Charlie is still sleeping, I am gonna get to work. I've had a pretty productive morning. I've like gotten ready, which is huge. I already sent through 2 concepts for approval, which is stunning. I edited a short form video. I have some Instagram stories I'm gonna film now for a brand, and then what else do I have to do? Just some organic short form content that I can hopefully get to this afternoon. Yay. Okay, take 2 because I dropped the ball yesterday. I got so focused on my short form content that I forgot to answer any more questions and vlog my day. So let's try this again, shall we? Happy Tuesday. Charlie slept 10 hours. Woke up, my husband made me a coffee. We went for a family walk, came home. I did Pilates, which felt so good. I'm really not doing too much at the moment, just working on rebuilding my core strength because I had major abdominal surgery literally like 2.5 months ago. And then I came out here, my husband was making me banana protein pancakes, wasn't he? Oh, what a life. Life is good. Life is great. Anyway, while Charlie's taking his second nap, I thought I could answer some questions, just like rapid fire. I find it hard, not necessarily to vlog when he's awake, although that is sometimes a challenge, but to actually concentrate and answer questions coherently. So let's maximize this time while we have it, shall we? This is a really sweet question. Someone asked, how are you, honestly? How am I, honestly? As of right now, today, great. Every day is a bit different and I don't think I've experienced such high highs and low lows since having a baby. I feel like I've always been pretty even keeled and just like even. That has not been my experience postpartum. The hormones are hormoning. I feel like every emotion is heightened. And so when I have a bad day or I'm feeling frustrated or feeling sad or happy or motivated, like those feelings are so much stronger. So today I'm feeling on top of the world. But tomorrow, who knows? Every day is so different, which is good in some ways because I know if I'm having a bad day, tomorrow's a new one and like there's opportunity to turn it around. I would say overall, like honestly, I feel like I'm doing fine, well, even. Physically, I feel good. Mentally, emotionally, I have my good days and bad. And I feel bad even complaining about it because I have been there on the other end of it, trying to conceive, experiencing pregnancy loss. So I feel like this is something that I've wanted for so long. And I love this chapter so much. I love being Charlie's mum so much. I can cry just thinking about it. I feel so happy, but it's such a big change. And yeah, I don't want to complain or for it to come across like I'm complaining in any way. I guess that's the thing I've been struggling with the most is knowing how to articulate my feelings and also allow myself to feel those feelings and not feel shame for them. It's like for so long I wanted this, and so like why do I feel these feelings sometimes? Does that make any sense? I'm allowed to feel those feelings though. I know that logically, but I emotionally, I'm like, no, I don't know. Postpartum is hard. Motherhood is such a huge transition, and I think I just need to be kinder to myself, honestly. I'd say that's what I've been struggling with the most, is just giving myself permission to feel these feelings and not feel guilt for it. Me having a bad day, feeling frustrated, feeling sad, any kind of negative emotion isn't a sign of weakness. It doesn't mean I don't love my baby. It doesn't mean I'm not internally grateful for this chapter. It's just is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, we all have bad days. I have bad days doing social media sometimes, and this is like my dream job, something I dreamt about for so long, and I love it, and I don't ever feel guilty for having a bad day doing this. So why can't I give myself that same grace in motherhood? I don't know. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but I would say overall I'm doing well. I think social media does a really good job of making it feel like you're kind of alone in this. I promise you, you're not. I understand why people don't share those really vulnerable moments. It's not something I personally feel comfortable doing. My first instinct isn't to whip out the camera when I'm crying or my baby's crying and we're having a really bad day. It's just not a priority, and it's also something that I kind of want to keep private, but I promise you those moments do still happen. Someone asked, how do you balance wanting to work and be a mum at the same time? You said it so confidently. Something else I'm still struggling with, and I think again this has probably been my biggest challenge, well, it's definitely been my biggest challenge, is balancing it all. A lot of you guys kindly pointed out that it just kind of never stops, and it's just a constant balancing act for the rest of your life. So love that. Wanting to work was like a non-negotiable for me. It kind of didn't even really cross my mind that I wouldn't not work. It's not like I'm going back into the office. I have flexibility with this job, so I can still be home with my baby. I do feel like I need some help long term figuring out either care for Charlie or, I don't know, figuring out something, because I don't think this is sustainable long term, but I've also come to realize this is just a season, and it is not the season for me. Right now I am low on the priority list, and that's okay. I'm lucky that my job is so fulfilling, and it is also a part of me as well, so it's not like I'm completely neglecting myself. I am still making time for myself, but it also happens to be work, if that makes sense. It's a hobby, it's something I enjoy, it's a really great creative outlet, and it also happens to make me money and provide for our family. Yeah, just like never really crossed my mind that I wouldn't work, to be honest. I don't think anyone should feel guilty for wanting to work if that's what they want to do. In the same way that often men go back to work and like they're not made to feel guilty, I don't think that women should feel that way either. If you want to work, work, and if you don't want to work, don't work. But the actual balance of working and being a mum, still very much figuring that out, and I think that will be an ongoing process forever and ever and ever. As a content creator, do you qualify for the Australian government paid parental leave? Yes, I do. Same way anyone that is self-employed. I pay taxes, I pay GST. The only thing that I was kind of uncertain about is if we earn too much as a household, like your combined total income has to be under a certain threshold in order to receive it. When did you first have visitors / family meet baby? I feel like our situation or circumstances were a little bit different because we were in the NICU for the first 4 nights. Visiting hours were quite limited, and we could only have, I think it was 2 at a time, but only 1 could be in the room. No, it was 2 people in the room, so like me or Nick and like 1 other person. So if our parents came, it was like 1 at a time, and then everyone else had to wait in the waiting room. That made it a little tricky. Who knows if it would have been different if we were at home, but given the situation, the circumstances, I personally just wanted that support around me, and I really wanted my mum and my dad. I'm really glad that they were able to come visit. They obviously came and met Charlie. I'm not sure if things would have been different if we went home within a few days. I don't know. I feel like you don't really know until the moment. It's kind of a vibes thing, whether or not you want visitors and how soon after you want them. And I don't think you should feel any shame for not wanting visitors straight away. It's such a vulnerable time, especially as a first time mum. Figuring out breastfeeding, if that's something you want to do. I don't know, like you're bleeding, everything's like coming out of everywhere. It's a very vulnerable time, and I think by all means, protect your peace, protect your space, do whatever feels right for you. But we have visitors the next day. He was born at 9:45 p.m. and we have visitors at like 5 p.m. the next day. Did you experience baby blues? I did. I think it's kind of inevitable. I don't know anyone that hasn't. That postpartum hormone crash is like nothing else I've ever experienced in my entire life. I am naturally quite an emotional person. Like I'm a crier. I have never cried more in my entire life. I've never been more emotionally unstable than at probably like 5 days postpartum. It just hit me all at once. Between like 5 days postpartum and I'd say like day 12 maybe, I was crying at everything, and half the time I wasn't even crying because I was sad. I was crying because I was so happy. All I remember from that time is like crying because I was so obsessed with my husband. Like I have never felt such a love, obviously for my baby, but also for my husband, and like watching him with Charlie. Oh my gosh, I was a mess. I was crying over that. I was crying how happy I was. I cried like even stupid little things, like our TV remote stopped working. Nick looked really sad. Well, I thought he looked really sad. He was just like, oh, TV remote's not working. But in my head, I was like, oh my God, he's so sad. And so I started crying because I thought he was sad because the TV wasn't working. Oh, none of it made sense. I was unhinged. I kept talking about how Nick was going back to work in 6 weeks time, and I was crying about that. I was like, I don't want you to go back to work. Nick's like, okay, still have a month and a half left. Whew. I knew it was coming. I'd been warned, but experiencing it, oh my gosh, it's like nothing else I've ever experienced in my entire life. So yeah, I definitely had the baby blues. Fortunately, it kind of evened out, and yeah, I've been fine ever since, touch wood. I know that postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety can sometimes come later. So I'm still being mindful, being kind to myself, or like trying to be kind to myself and looking out for those warning signs. You wanna come in? I was just answering some postpartum questions. There's actually one for you. Biggest challenge for Nick, like postpartum, parenthood.
Yeah, I think it's the amount of time that I'm not here.
Oh, I like
feel
going back
really
to work.
Guilty. Like you're at work 5 days a week.
Yeah.
You see you guys first thing in the morning, and then right before he goes to bed. It's just how it works. Like rationally, you know that it's like, you know, you're working, trying to provide, etc. But like you feel guilty that you're not here, and I feel bad because it's like.
I don't feel bad.
I do. No. It's not you know, conscious. Yeah. So you know that you have to work. That's life, but you still feel bad about it.
It's kind of like the work structure is like so poorly structured.
For having a baby,
well, it's just like there's no time for family.
I don't really see him. Like I see him like in the morning we go for another lovely walk, and it's lovely. And then at night we do as well, and then you put him down. But it's like, you know. The weekend, that's why the weekend's so lovely. So on the weekend, you're like, I feel bad you have him all day. It's like, I want to have him all day.
No, do you want to go get him now? He's good. He said, here you go, Dad.
Okay, want to hang out? Okay, and then I'm going to head back upstairs. Love you.
Love you. I'll keep an eye on him. I think he just wants his dummy. The king has risen. Look how cute his outfit is today. I'm obsessed. I'm really enjoying dressing him in like real people clothes. Now he's a bit older. He doesn't need like as many outfit changes. Am I loving the jumpers? Got like a whole new wardrobe. Now it's getting cooler. New wardrobe unlocked. Anyway, we're about to head out. We're gonna go for a okay. We've already been for one this morning, but I just want to get out of the house, to be honest. Any excuse, I have a package to pick up from the post office. So we're gonna go do that and then come home for our next nap. Just restocking our nappy bag with some nappies. I need to pop another spare pair of clothes in here because Charlie had a huge blowout when we were at the movies on Friday. Me and Mum went to the Mums and Bubs session. He had the biggest blowout. It's funny, every stage of motherhood humbles you. I quite literally said, oh, like I'm really enjoying dressing him in normal people clothes because he's not having so many outfit changes, and then literally that same day, blowout. Just when you think you know what you're doing, everything's all good. Yeah, I like to have a bag ready to go at all times so I can just leave the house whenever we want to. That was a common question that kept popping up, like top tips for leaving the house with baby. Restocking your bag, having it ready to go, keep it in the car, whatever you need to do. I also think lower your expectations. The same goes for anything, I think, in motherhood. It's probably been my biggest lesson, is like lower your already very low expectations. I think starting off small, if you haven't left the house yet or you're struggling with that, go somewhere where you can easily leave. Maybe going to grab a takeaway coffee or going out for a walk, like whatever feels comfortable to you, and like slowly work your way up. I think that's probably the easiest thing, is those small little outings that give you the confidence to go out for longer periods, to do like more, I don't want to say adventurous things, but like a sit down meal. I just think babies are a lot more chill. Well, actually, I can only speak for my son. They're just like a lot more adaptable than you think. Like I was low-key worried for Nick's 30th that I'd spend the entire dinner just soothing Charlie. We were also staying in an Airbnb, so an unfamiliar place, and I was worried that that would impact him, but he literally fell asleep at the restaurant. We even went to the pub afterwards. We got home at like 12 o'clock. He slept the entire night and he was fine. We've been to 3 weddings, I think, or 4. No, 3. We've been to 3 weddings with him. Every single time he's been an absolute angel. I think there's something about like the atmosphere and like the constant buzz of chatter that like babies love. But yeah, I find the idea of leaving the house is always way more daunting than the actual reality. And like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? That's what I always remind myself. Like, the worst that's gonna happen is he's gonna freak out and cry and I can leave. Like, no stress, no worries. It's fine. I also feel like going out with people is always way easier. I don't know what it is. There's something about when I'm out with him by myself, and Nick has had this same experience when he's taken Charlie by himself. There's something about your baby crying and you're alone that you feel really bad and like everyone's watching you. I do not have that problem when I'm with Nick or with my mum or someone, but I feel like when I'm alone, everyone's just staring at me like, shut your baby up, and like judging me in a way. I don't know, I haven't ever cared what anyone else thinks, but those feelings are real. I'm like, I don't think anyone is, but it's just in my head. What's something that you did not expect or were not warned about regarding postpartum? Oh my goodness, the hallucinations, postpartum hallucinations. I actually had to ask my midwife, like, is this normal? She was like, yeah, it's way more normal than you think. I guess because there's just so many hormones coursing through your body. It would happen almost every night. I would wake up thinking that Charlie was in the bed with us. I was so terrified that he was suffocating. Oh my gosh, that heart-dropping absolute panic. It was so scary. Meanwhile, I was literally chilling in the bassinet next to me. There was one time where Elsie was in the bed with us and I was like scrounging in the covers, like thinking it was Charlie, like, oh my God, is he okay? And Elsie was just there like, poor girl. She was like, what is going on? There was one night where Nick, he must have been like, I don't know, cradling himself, cuddling a pillow or something. I don't know. He was like facing away, but holding something. And I woke up in one of these frenzies being like, do you have Charlie? And him being half asleep was like, yeah, of course. I was like, give him back to me. And he was like rolling over. I thought squashing him. Meanwhile, I was literally in the bassinet next to me. Absolutely fine. Yeah, that lasted like a couple of weeks. Very scary, I'm not gonna lie, but very normal, I've heard. It eventually subsided. I also told myself every night before I went to sleep, he's in the bassinet, he's in the bassinet, he's in the bassinet. But yeah, crazy. Not rational in the slightest, but those postpartum hormones were doing their thing. Also just like a whole new, like a newfound respect for mothers. Like I always respected my mum. I always respected other mums in my life, but experiencing it yourself and seeing the sacrifices and like the work that goes into being a mum, yeah, I just have so much respect for other mums. Now when I pass other mums in the shopping center or when I'm out for a morning walk, it's just this like silent nod of like knowing what you're experiencing. What's been the easiest and hardest things about postpartum for you? I'd say the easiest has actually been him. Like the actual looking after the baby, like caring for the baby is not the hard part. I've had a really great breastfeeding journey so far. I've been really, really lucky with that. We got lucky with such a good sleeper. He's sleeping through the night. He's just like a generally happy, chill, smiley little boy. And we've been so lucky with that. The actual caring for the baby is not the hard part. It's just everything else that comes with that and balancing that, balancing work, balancing housework, relationships. Yeah, I think it's just everything else that comes on top of caring for a child. There's so much to think about, I think, as well as like the mental load. So that's been like the easiest and hardest part. Easiest part is actually caring for the baby. Hardest part is balancing everything. How do you deal with comparison to other mums, especially on social media? I think being a creator, I realize how little you can share whilst also appearing like you're sharing so much, if that makes sense. Like I document my life, obviously. I do short form content. I upload weekly on YouTube. So you see a lot of my life, but you see a very small amount at the same time. And as a creator, I know how easy it is to kind of curate your life or an image. So I think knowing that, I never compare myself online to other people, other mums, just in general. Like I know that there is always so much more that is going on behind the scenes than you realize. Whether people choose to share those hard times or not, I know that they do happen because I experience those too. Some I've shared, some I haven't. Yet you just see such a small part of people's day, you just don't know the full story. And so I don't compare because I know that they're probably, and everyone's struggles are so different as well. Like my child is a good sleeper. I don't struggle with sleep deprivation right now. Let's touch lots of wood. That's not a struggle of mine in motherhood, but I struggle with other things that maybe other people don't struggle with. And I think people have struggles at different times in motherhood. Some people love the newborn stage, some people hate it. Do you know what I mean? Like there's just, everyone has their thing. And I think comparison is a thief of joy. And I think, yeah, just focus on yourself. Don't worry about everything else. There's always going to be someone that's better off or worse off than you, and like seemingly so, because social media shows such a small part of people's day. Have you been to a mum's group, and if yes, have you enjoyed it? No, but I am going to one this week, which is exciting. I'm kind of nervous. It feels like the first day of school. I was literally saying to Nick, like, I hope I make friends. I don't want to put too much pressure on it though, but I feel like it's one of two ways. Like people either meet lifelong friends from their mother's group, or they just don't vibe with anyone. So it could go one of two ways. I'll keep you guys updated. I just think it'll be nice to get out and like talk to other mums that are going through this wild experience. I still haven't been to baby prime time. All the ones around me are at a really inconvenient time when Charlie's normally taking his first nap. It's fine. Maybe we'll get there one day. Did you end up getting your period back 10 weeks postpartum and dreading it? I did. I posted on my stories, I think I was like 5 weeks postpartum, thinking that it was my period. I don't think that was, but I did end up getting it like a week later, unfortunately. It was like a pretty heavy period, and then I ended up getting it again like 3 weeks later. So my cycle's kind of all over the shop at the moment. Now that you have Charlie, how many kids do you think you want? Oh, I think it's too soon to say. We've only really experienced the first stage of having a baby. I feel like we're coming out of that, coming out of the newborn trenches, if you will, and out of the 4th trimester. So right now I would say like 2 to 3, which I think was our answer before. I think we're leaning more towards 3, and now I'm like, maybe 2. I just keep thinking, Nick and I talk about this all the time, I cannot imagine having a baby and a toddler, like other children. I know people do it, but I just don't know how. And I know we would adapt and it would be fine, and I'm sure like we haven't experienced a toddler, so yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's too soon to say. Let us marinate on that one, but yeah, I'd say 2 to 3. I just don't know how. I don't know how people manage it. I don't know how my mom had 5 kids. 5 kids. She's insane. Lots of questions about my postpartum must-haves. I actually wrote a list in the midst of postpartum, so I'd remember. Where is it? Silverettes absolutely saved me on my breastfeeding journey. Dew undies in particular, just any kind of disposable underwear, but I really like the Dew ones. They're very comfortable. You still bleed, even if you have a C-section. I feel like not many people know that. And that bleeding will last a considerable number of weeks. I actually held on to the undies, and when I got my first postpartum period, I wore them. And they were great. Might keep them up, honestly. The Pure Mama breast pads, they're like reusable breast pads. Those were really good. Maternity bras, I really like the bee-free ones, especially if you're a big baby girl. They're super comfortable. I literally lived in them all of my pregnancy and postpartum. Hydra Mama and the Beauty Bites or Mama Bites from Minnie and Me as well, which I have a discount code for. Always having those on hand, staying hydrated, staying fueled. I also had a C-section, not a vaginal birth, so my postpartum essentials probably a little bit different, but those are the things that I really enjoyed.
The fall is coming, I can feel it. The breeze brings goosebumps to my skin.